So this is demonstration video 1 in B05, our introduction to RStudio. So we're starting here on our laptop, and what we're going to do first is find RStudio. So if you go to the Software Center, click on that app, and then you're going to search for RStudio inside there. So just wait for the application to open up, and then many of you will have RStudio already, in which case you don't need to install it. So you can see R there, and this is RStudio. So we can either search for it here or actually click on this. So we're going to install that, and you may have it already. Note this is for uses R version 4.2, and you may need to wait for a while that installs. But you should see that it's slowly installing. And then next we're going to launch RStudio. So RStudio, remember, that's a wrapper for the R interface. So let's just see. So now that's installed, you can just search for RStudio here, and this application should pop up. So we just wait for it to pop up, and we should be able to enter into the R coding environment. And well, we'll close this because you won't see this when you start up. Note that the RStudio version I have it is a bit old, so just ignore that update because we won't be able to manually update that ourselves. So we just have to stick with this version. So you have the console here, the environment is up here, and this is the tab where we have the local files that we have, plots that we've produced none so far, packages. So you can see we have base or packages. And then further down, I don't know if there's much more. With one there, data sets. We have help. So if you want to find help on, for example, the mean function, you can do that there. And there's even examples down here that you can actually copy and paste over to your console and run them like that and see what XM is. It's 8.75. And then here in our environment, we can show that the variables that we've just declared are command history, which is quite brief so far, and other features that we're not going to use much. So this is our console. So what we want to do next is go to the page, Omics Learning, and go to B05 Intro to R. We want to go to Lab 1, and then open up the Intro to R Basics RMD. So just double click on that, and it should open in RStudio. If it doesn't open in RStudio, it might need to go to File and then Open File. And also remember, if you want a new RMD file for whatever reason, just go to File, New File, and then R Markdown, and that'll create a new R Markdown file. You can give it a new name, and it'll open like that. So this is our first lab's work, and this video just gives you some highlights about what we're going to learn. The first of which is installing Swirl. So if you just click on, you can either run the code like that, like run selected lines, or press Control Enter. So if you try run selected lines, it doesn't matter where my cursor is. You can see that the code is being executed down here, and that it says that it's installing this package into this location on the computer. Note that it's R version 4.2. You can also see there that the Swirl, it denotes the Swirl version number that's being installed as well. It's version 2.45. And it says it's successfully unpacked, which is nice. So then to use a package, we need to activate it. So just run line 22 using Control Enter. That will activate Swirl, and it says type Swirl to begin. So we can indeed do that. I'm going to call me Hal today, and we can just follow the instructions from there and press Enter as per the prompt, and 1 to continue. And it says these commands like skip, play, by, main, info. So I just press return to go to the next step. And I'm a beginner, so I'm going to go to number 1, or programming. And this just gives you an options to go to the Swirl course repository, which we'll do later in these courses, but not right now. So hit 1. And we'll start with 1 basic building blocks. And then what we'll see is that it prints to screen information on what to do next, like getting help and so on. And it will ask you basic things like what is 5 plus 7. So we type in 5 plus 7, and we get our answer. It's 12. You can see there. So note when R prints stuff out, it puts a 1 to indicate that this is the first element of the response from R before the actual values that we want. So you can follow through that tutorial in your own time. To exit, just do bye. So what we'll do in the next video is then talk about R as a calculator.